Let me first get this out the way. God is good all the time. Once again, God is good all the time. Normally, I would say to Glenn Youngkin, oh, hell yeah. But at this time period, we all need to be humble and say amen. God was working throughout Virginia, throughout America, on making sure it fixed this mess that we are in. And today represents that process of starting over, healing old wounds, and becoming more united instead of divided. I'm so proud of every single Virginian, whether you voted for Republicans or not, but just by participating and fighting for exactly whatever you believe in. However, we still all know that we have a whole lot of work ahead of us, and it's not going to be taking us in the same direction that we have been on. Many are miserable, many are depressed, and this is a sign of hope for Virginia and for the rest of this country that is saying enough is enough, that we don't hate each other like the media claims. We are not a country that steals one nation under God like the media claims. We are all equal. And today represents when a united voice, one that has been silenced and suppressed, has finally spoken up. Not through devices or the distractions or the limitations of social media, but actually speaking to their neighbor and getting past the bondage that any party has over us. We are only limited if we allow further limitation. Further limitation is not finding out about what is in your best interest as well as being knowledgeable enough to maintain that for the further future. But we cannot have a big head. This is a huge mess that nobody has ever thought or imagined could happen, not only to America, but to Virginia. People chose their family and what was being put in their lives from democratic ideologies or agendas, and chose instead that their family and how they raised their family and what their family decides to learn that can further corrupt them would not be allowed, not only in their house, nor do they want it in those that represents them, as they are the real image of why people protect and serve, why people swear the oath to protect us all from all enemies, foreign or domestic, which our United States and Virginia Constitution guarantees. But there's no guarantee if we only look at it as a privilege instead of a gift that was ordained to us through God. Many have lost their way. And when a party feels like they are above God and take down what he has created and used throughout time to make sure we are always reminded to always do better and become better each and every day, and don't become what our history has said will become if we do not remember it. We are doomed to repeat it. But our future is bright. We have some of the brightest minds and people full of fire, spirit, and brimstone that lets us know that America will become stronger once we get rid of those who make us weak. Sometimes you don't take on a responsibility that you're not ready for. And God puts those in place to take on the responsibility and accountability because He knows that they will lead. Not be perfect because we are all sinners, but still be humble, still be compassionate and caring, and showing love to all people. Where we should be sitting down at a table to discuss our differences is because we are allowed to sit at that table and get to know each other and understand one another. No party should ever be involved in distancing us from each other. That's been the problem. But I'm so glad people broke the ranks of political party, but instead determined what was best for them and their family by finding out about both sides. Because when you know two-sided stories, right in between it is the truth. And the American people are always in between those two sides of the story. So don't take them for granted. And to our new leaders, because even though you're Republican, you represent Democrats as well. Make sure you learn from what they have done so we don't repeat that same part of history that made us fight against them would turn them against us. This race should humble anybody. The message is clear. We don't hate each other. We are not divided. It's only those who want to keep us divided that's keeping us divided. And I challenge each and every one of you. The pandemic is over. The hoax is over. America said enough is enough. Unmask our kids. Don't force us to take something that we don't want to take. That should always be our choice. Whether we put our faith in God or in man, whether we agree or disagree, we all have our own independent mind and we should protect each other with respect. Not crossing over boundaries, which our founding fathers had told us from long ago, to always keep a separation of church and state. They didn't say it because it was just a great phrase to add to a document. They said it because they knew times like this would show America that they always remembered that this time will come and you should be prepared. Now we are all trying to prepare for what the future may be. Now Glenn Youngkin represents hope, a man of faith, a man that has showed that he can work from both sides of the aisle. He represents that both sides may not get what they want, but he shows you that he's going to make the best decision on behalf of all of us with all of us in mind. Not just what political party that you are on, but instead of representing you with the leadership that's necessary and that's adequate for times like this. Glenn Youngkin wrote the playbook for the rest of America that the mandates will not happen. We will not become a communist country. We won't make our citizens dependent on government, but make sure government continues to know it works for you. That's how you lead. You make your critics believe in you. Even at time frames you may not believe in yourself and you are doubting yourself. All these candidates made sacrifices, their families made sacrifices. We all did. We all had to break away from being comfortable to being very uncomfortable, being in territories that we never thought we would be in. Sometimes we realized it was only us holding each other back. It was only us holding each other back from resonating with the other side. Because people understand your path if you keep fighting for them to hear it. But when you quit, that's as quickly as they quit because they learn from you. Always be the person that makes sure if they're going to learn from you, they learn to know that it's okay to fight. It's okay to go against the grain. We seen that in many patriots like Philip Hamilton and Kimberly Lowe and Jerome Bell, Deanna Staten, Kim Go, A.C. Cordoza, Chuck Smith, Tim Hugo. He didn't lose. But I know his family took a hit too, just like so many other families. And we have to be there for them, even at a price of being on the campaign. But your campaign is your family, and your family always comes first. That's why I told him I prayed for him, even though he didn't expect it. But that lets you know how much I pay attention to you. I have to start realizing how many people paid attention to me. But I'm glad I can still speak from the heart and speak from the soul and still tell truth to power. It's not for us to serve or represent, be delegates, senators, or public officials just to follow what one person wants or one party wants. It is up to us to make sure that we do the right thing regardless of political party, but we do it in the best interest of our family, our future, and everybody who we represent, knowing that we will still speak up for you, even though it may go against exactly what our party may feel on a particular position. But know that you speak from a conservative that speaks from conviction, that won't compromise, but continue to fight for those who want you fighting for them and their core issues in their district. That's what they send you there for. To persuade, not to be bought off, but to show that you can sit at the table and make sure change happens that everybody can believe in. And that happens by acting with good faith, not under bad faith. And to the many police officers out there, you continue showing up to work. You continue letting them know you're ready. Same for teachers, same for first responders, the same for the rest of America and Virginia. Because those who you elected are going to be held accountable, and they should be able to show up to work as much as you are able to show up for work, if not more. That's how we set the example to get America back to work when they know that we understand we have to do our part to make sure America and Virginia will have the leadership. It will have the calm, the peace, the freedom to set the bar for how we all can see the mountaintop. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about this a long time ago. It's not about the color of your skin, it's about the content of your character. Regardless of Glenn Youngkin's race or his ethnicity, you saw his character. You saw other Republicans' character. Many Republicans and conservatives were speaking for you, even though you was afraid to speak to them. there was a solid majority on both sides that had been long told to do as they told. And this is at that moment they resisted doing as they told, but doing what was right and in the best interest of this country, Democrat or Republican. I thank you. America thanks you because you spoke for America today throughout Virginia. You got the phone calls just like these politicians do from other family members concerned, other friends, your neighbors. When you sit down and invite people over for a barbecue, and they're all telling you the same story that you're not only hearing in your neighborhood, but you're also hearing at your job. And then you're hearing it across state lines with other family, other friends, and other neighbors that are going through it at this moment, whether mentally, physically, or financially. We all want to help, but we all got to get in there to do our part. We got to stop looking at each other as black or white, privileged or entitled. We are Americans, but we all are God's children also, and that comes first. We have to have those uncomfortable conversations. You can still have your rules. You can still have your views. You can still be you. There's always going to be a place in America for you. But we all should have decency. We all should want people to be responsible and accountable for their actions. But we also want to praise and lift up those who do great. America has always been great and will continue to be great. And this is an example that America will always be America. And I hope people learn a new appreciation, a new humbleness, a new attitude, a new look on life. Because America is dependent on you. Your family's dependent on you. Your country is dependent on you. And God already knows what you can do, even though you think you can't. Continue to have faith. Continue to do whatever you have to do to make sure your neighborhoods are safer. Do what you have to do to make sure your children can play and they can have their own friends and they can have a chance to enjoy their childhood. We all have a childhood. It's okay to be a child. It's not okay for us grown-ups to take that away from you when it wasn't taken away from us, nor should we condone it or promote it. Give you a chance to be what you want to be. But know, as us all, as parents, leaders, and those who continue to encourage wisdom and strength and help us along that path, understand that we all want to work in each other's best interests. We want to make sure we hold you up when you're still trying to fight, not drop you and let you go blind or go off into a path of certain doom. Because the more we do that, the more we doom those who may not know any better or think people don't care. We all been in a situation where we felt people don't care, or we thought at one point in life that we just didn't matter. Now you're finding out we all matter. No social media, whether it's Facebook, Meta, or any other thing, is stronger than us united. God bless you, and God bless America. My name is Merle Rutledge, and I am running for Virginia State Senator. But I'm not running just to appease one or the other side. I'm here to make sure I fight for exactly what God told me to fight for. And obviously today he showed us all his message and his word is forever, ever going to be here as long as we are here. And he will protect us when we are in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive those who trespass against us, but lead us not into temptation. Deliver us all from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.